The time is 9 o'clock and you are listening to CHMA 106.9 FM.
And now it's time for your CHMA News. We're broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, the heart of the Maritimes and the traditional and unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq people. Coming up in the next 15 minutes, we'll have your local news, Atlantic update, weather, sports update, and some community announcements.
Hello, and welcome to CHMA's local news at 106.9 FM and CHMAFM.com. We are broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, the heart of the Maritimes, on the traditional and unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq people. I'm Theodore Ramrak. Today is Wednesday, August 5th. In the news today, live music returns to Bill Johnson Memorial Park Thursday evening. Local musician Andrew Moore will perform as part of Tantamar's Concert in the Park series, with the free show beginning at 6:30 p.m. And history will come to life at Fort Beauséjour this Saturday as the National Historic Site marks the 250th anniversary of the Eddie Rebellion and Siege of Fort Cumberland. Visitors can watch musket and military drill demonstrations and a short play about the 1776 siege presented by the Festival by the Marsh. Activities begin at 11 a.m. And now, CHMA spoke with Mount Allison University professor Joshua Curick about cyanobacteria, what causes blooms, and why none have been recorded in the Tantamar region. New Brunswick's Department of Health is once again reminding residents to watch for cyanobacteria, commonly known as blue-green algae. The department's annual advisory warns that some blooms can produce toxins harmful to people and pets. While advisories have been issued elsewhere in the province, Mount Allison University professor Joshua Curick says no cyanobacteria blooms have been recorded in the Tantramar region.
To my knowledge, there are no lakes in the Tantramar region that have recorded blue-green algal blooms. They're definitely there, but they just haven't happened yet.
Curick says that doesn't mean cyanobacteria aren't present in local waters. Instead, he says the concern is when environmental conditions allow naturally occurring populations to grow into blooms.
Cyanobacteria are small photosynthetic bacteria that live in water and soil. They produce a lot of the oxygen that we breathe, and they're a very old organism. They evolved something like 2 billion years ago.
According to the Department of Health, not every bloom produces toxins, but those that do can pose risks to people and animals. The department advises people to avoid swimming where blooms are visible, keep pets away from affected waters, and avoid drinking untreated water from lakes or rivers where blooms are suspected. Curick says blooms can affect both wildlife and the health of lakes.
They produce toxins which can harm wildlife and humans. They also, when they die and they sink out of the water column, other organisms use them as fuel. They eat them, basically. They break them down. And in that process, they consume oxygen. And so the bottom of a lake or a river may become depleted in oxygen. And so that creates all kinds of problems for the organisms that live there.
Scientists have long associated cyanobacteria blooms with excess nutrients entering lakes. But Curick says researchers are finding that climate change is also contributing to the problem.
The idea that you see these blooms of cyanobacteria, decades ago, they would have been attributed to nutrients moving into the system. What we're seeing now is more evidence that changes in weather patterns linked to climate warming are associated with these blooms. So it's not only excess nutrients that we have to worry about, it's now changes in the climate system that are favoring these blooms.
The Department of Health says anyone who comes into contact with a suspected cyanobacteria bloom should rinse off with clean water as soon as possible. Pet owners are also advised to rinse animals that have been in infected water and prevent them from licking their fur until they're clean. For CHMA, I'm Theodore Ramrak.
I'm Clinton Davis with more CHMA News. Over the past several months, Tantramar Council has spent meeting after meeting wrestling with property assessments, emergency services, taxation, governance, the gas plant, internal investigations, municipal service volunteer complaints, and more. Now it's hoping other municipalities agree those challenges shouldn't be handled by local governments alone. In a special meeting held late last week, Tantramar Council approved 4 resolutions it hopes will eventually lead to changes at the provincial level. The resolutions will now be submitted to the Union of Municipalities of New Brunswick, or the UMNB. That's an organization that represents local governments across the province. Every year, municipalities can submit resolutions asking the organization to lobby the provincial government for legislative or policy changes. The ideas for the 4 resolutions didn't appear overnight. Many of them stemmed from discussions Council has been having over the past several months and years, including debates over property assessments, vacant land taxation, emergency service agreements, and the municipality's response to proposed industrial projects, including the potential Riggs Energy Atlantic gas-fired power plant. Rather than changing municipal policy, Council is asking whether some of these responsibilities should be handled differently or by someone else entirely. The clearest example is Council's request for the province to take over municipal code of conduct complaints. Jennifer Bourne is Tantramar's Chief Administrative Officer, and she explained why staff brought the resolution forward.
Part of the challenge that we're running into is that it is very difficult for council to police internally for code of conduct. So your ask as a council or the resolution to bring forward at the provincial level for advocacy is for UMNB to lobby the province and local governance commission to assume responsibility for code of conduct complaints involving municipal councillors.
As it stands, currently municipalities are responsible for investigating complaints involving members of their own councils. Tantramar Council now wants an independent provincial process and a standardized code of conduct that would apply all across New Brunswick. Council also approved 2 resolutions for the UMNB dealing with property assessments. Over the past year, councillors have repeatedly heard concerns from residents who questioned why similar homes can receive very different assessed values while municipalities set tax rates. Service New Brunswick determines the assessment those tax rates are applied to, and that has caused some confusion and upset between residents and municipalities, according to Council. They're now asking the province to strengthen oversight of residential assessments, while a separate resolution calls for additional verification of assessments on provincially owned or provincially funded properties. Municipal finances were the 4th focus of the resolution. Council wants the province to ensure municipalities receive the full value of federal payments in lieu of taxes. That's known as PILT. Those payments compensate municipalities for federal properties that don't pay traditional property taxes but still rely on local services. One prime example is the Dorchester Prison. Bowen said the change could make a meaningful difference.
If we received, 100% of our portion back to the municipality would certainly make a difference in our revenue sources.
Now, none of these proposals or resolutions changes provincial policy, of course. Instead, they'll first be reviewed by the Union of Municipalities of New Brunswick before potentially going before municipalities from across the province at the organization's annual meeting this fall. Councillor Alison Butcher explained that Tantramar's proposals are only the first step in that process and had it verified by Bourne after.
So when we send these on, they will look at them and perhaps give us some feedback about what viability they think it has. Sometimes it may end up being combined with another municipality that has a resolution that is similar to ours or connected. So we would be putting them forward for UMNB to consider bringing forward to the greater membership.
So, whether the resolutions are ultimately adopted remains up to municipalities across New Brunswick, but together they represent the latest step in a broader conversation that's been unfolding at Tantramar Council over the past several months, where the responsibilities of municipal government end and where the province should play a larger role in overseeing, regulating, and funding the systems municipalities rely on. For CHMA News, I'm Clinton Davis.
Then you're moving on. Hello, I'm Jennifer Castle, and you're listening to 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, CHMA.
And here's your CHMA Atlantic update. Nova Scotia's Liberals will elect their first woman leader this fall, but the challengers say the race is more about picking the right person for the job. Running for the leadership are Becky Drouin, who represents Lunenburg West in the legislature, and Amanda Mombriquette, the deputy warden of Richmond County. Mombriquette says the prospect of a woman leader is exciting, but her focus is on rebuilding the party while offering strong opposition in the legislature. Drouin says the key is choosing the person with the skills and experience to lead the party and be prepared to govern. New Brunswick has awarded 10 new recipients the province's highest civilian honor. Patsy Gallant, known as Canada's Queen of Disco, and 9 other recipients of the Order of New Brunswick were announced yesterday in Grand Falls. Prominent Mi'kmaq filmmaker Brian J. Francis and digital safety researcher Dr. Ali A. Gorbani were also among the new inductees. The order is awarded to current or former long-term residents who demonstrate individual excellence. The 2026 recipients will be formally invested into the order during a ceremony at the Legislative Assembly in November. What's blue and orange and has a new home in Halifax? It's Oscar the two-toned lobster. Fisherman Robert Wagner caught the critter, which is blue on one side and orange on the other, off the coast of Blue Rocks, Nova Scotia. Oscar's colorful mutation only impacts about 1 out of every 50 million lobsters. He's settling into his new home at the Beatty Center for Marine Biodiversity at Dalhousie University. PEI's capital city has new restrictions for feeding wild birds. Charlottetown has created a new bylaw banning residents from feeding pigeons, seagulls, and crows. Residents are only allowed to use elevated bird feeders for songbirds and hummingbirds. Those who break the rules may get hit with an initial $200 fine, up to a maximum $1,000 fine. The Newfoundland and Labrador government is seeking public input on ways to reduce poverty. The government is putting together a 10-year poverty reduction strategy. It's asking residents, community groups, service providers, and Indigenous organizations to share their experiences and ideas. Thoughts can be shared online or at in-person events around the province. And that has been your CHMA Atlantic Update.
Hi, I'm Gia and you're listening to CHMA.
And now for the weather. Today, sunny with wind going west 20 kilometers an hour, high of 33, humidex of 39, and UV index of 8 or very high. At night, clear skies, wind southwest 20 kilometers an hour, becoming light in the evening with a low of 18. On Thursday, sunny with a high of 32. At night, clear skies with a low of 17. On Friday, sunny with a high of 32. At night, cloudy periods with a low of 20. On Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 28. At night, cloudy periods with a low of 18. On Sunday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 26. At night, cloudy periods with a low of 17. Finally, on Monday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 25. And that has been the weather.
CHMA, Voice of the Marshes.
And here's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update.
A full slate of games in Major League Baseball yesterday, including The Chicago Cubs facing off against the Los Angeles Dodgers, and key trade line deadline acquisition. Tarek Skubal loses for the Dodgers. Chicago gets the 5-1 victory to move within 3.5 games of division leading and National League leader, the Milwaukee Brewers. The Baltimore Orioles, they defeat the Los Angeles Angels 3-1. It was the Mets with a 6-2 W over the Cleveland Guardians. Cincinnati comes back to beat the Athletics 5-4. Phillies shut out the Nationals 5-0. The Yankees also playing the shutout game. They defeat the St. Louis Cardinals in the Bronx 2-0. It was Boston breaking out the bats and beating up on the Chi Sox 14-2 final there. Atlanta doubles up Miami 4-2. Kansas City quadruples Minnesota 8-2. Milwaukee doubles Pittsburgh 4-2. It was Texas coming back in the bottom of the ninth to defeat the San Francisco Giants at home in Arlington 5-4 final there. Houston hands the Toronto Blue Jays another loss, meaning the Jays now sit 2.5 games out of a wild card spot for the postseason. 7-2 final there. Tampa Bay defeats the Colorado Rockies in 11-9-7. It was your San Diego Padres with a 9-4 victory over the Arizona Diamondbacks. And finally, the Detroit Tigers, they defeat the Seattle Mariners 8-0 in the Pacific Northwest. No action in New Brunswick senior men's baseball to tell you about last night. And in the WNBA, the Toronto Tempo on the road in Golden State, and they suffer the 11-point loss, a 93-82 final there.
And that's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update. Please be sure to check out Brian's show on Mondays at 8:30 a.m. for more sports commentary.
Hey there, this is Chloe, and you're listening to CHMA. If you like ambient and new age music, check out my co-host and my show, Dandelion, Thursday nights at 9. See you then.
And now for what's happening in your community. On August 9th in Sackville, head on over to Green Slades on Charles Street at 2 p.m. to catch Sackville's own Juno-winning saxophonist Joel Miller with pianist Silvio Pupo in a special afternoon show, launching a new performance series called Joel's Jazz Matinee. You can buy tickets now at greensladesnb.com. Get them now before they sell out. Once again, this is Joel's Jazz Matinee, a new quarterly series starting on August 9th at 2 p.m. On Charles Street at Greenslades. Marshlight Theatre Company presents a play, Zomblet. Dan Bray's exciting hybrid of Hamlet, Dr. Faustus, and zombies. Zomblet will be performed starting August 14th. It's outdoors, so bring your bug repellent and chairs. Join us in an alternate reality where Hamlet and Faustus join together to defeat zombies. It's a rollicking comedy that is sure to leave you gasping in fear. Tickets are $15 for adults and $5 for youth under 18. Tickets are available right now at marshlight.ca or at the door. This show contains comic gore and coarse language, and it will be taking place from August 14th to 23rd at 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the corner of Bridge and Weldon by the Quonset Hut. Join Tantramar Active Living and Culture this summer for Silver Lake Paddle Fest, an evening of paddling, community, and outdoor fun. Held monthly, this event invites you to bring your kayak, canoe, or paddleboard and take part in a relaxing group paddle on the water. Silver Lake Paddle Rentals will be offering free rentals during each event, so it makes it easy for everyone to join in. The next event will be taking place August 19th at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Lillis Fawcett Park. Join Tantramar Active Living and Culture for the Sackville Summer Fundraiser. Spend the afternoon at Beach Hill Park on August 22nd with family-friendly games, a barbecue, slip and slides, and fun for all ages from 3 to 7 p.m. For those 19 and up, there will also be an outdoor concert from 7 p.m. to 11 featuring beer and great local music. Concert tickets are just $15 and include a reusable commemorative beer mug. All proceeds will support accessibility improvements at the Tantramar Veterans Memorial Civic Center. Gather your friends, bring your lawn chair, and help make a difference while enjoying a great day of summer fun. This is going to be happening August 22nd at Beach Hill Park. And that's what's happening in your community.
And that was your CHMA News. Please visit www.chmafm.com for more news and to sign up for our email newsletter. Funding is provided by our monthly sustainers, the Community Radio Fund of Canada, and the Municipality of Tantramar's Community Development Grant. If you have a story idea or would like to include an announcement, please write us at news@chmafm.com.
CHMA has your weekday sports update information ready to start your day off. Sackville Sports Hound Brian Nilsson brings you the sports numbers that you need to know each day at 8:30 a.m., 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and 5 p.m.
Whether you are heading to work, getting off a shift, or just waking up in the morning, you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, Voice of the Marshes. I'm Maya Noel, and this is the Late Morning Show. Today is Wednesday, August 5th. I hope you guys are having a great morning so far. It's been a hot week, and today is going to be very hot, so be mindful of how long you spend outdoors. Don't forget to wear your sunscreen, your hats, sunglasses. Stay safe out there. We're going to get started with some music. First up, we have Pre-Loved with Willow, and then we're going to hear from Joey Quinones with Don't Let Go. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in, and enjoy the music.
Since you let go, I've been on the lookout. You've been away a minute. To me, it's been a lifetime. be together. Until that day, no more searching far and wide. 'Cause deep in my heart, I know it's you. And I'll wait a lifetime to meet you again. So please don't let go. So please, if we're truly meant to be, forever and ever and ever. So please, don't let go. Don't ever, don't ever.
You just heard Joey Quinones with Don't Let Go on CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, Voice of the Marshes. I'm Maya Noel, and you're listening to The Late Morning Show, and we also heard Willow by Pre-Loved. Next up, we've got True Mountain Laurel with Holy Hell, as well as Interpol with This Mirror Weighs a Ton. Let's get into it.
When I ask you to leave, you said, babe,